What's up guys, welcome back. A new insect support, and on first sight I was like, this seems a little bit underwhelming. You know, the new normal monster, Ranger, Shine Black. They also got a new boss monster, a new sea monster, a new somewhat of a floater-alike card, Gokipole, a new field spell which in all seriousness is superb. It's a fantastic support for insects, apologies, not insectors, but insects in general. Again, fantastic here for this particular archetype. It has a built-in foolish burial effect. It also lets you know, during both player battle phases, the damage inflicted by battle will be put to 0 once per turn, and then you know you can send something from your deck to the graveyard. And normally, depending on the situation, with the field spell you want to send a normal monster from your deck to the grave to special summon 3 copies of the same name, either you know from your deck or your graveyard. So this is one of the reasons why you might run more normal monsters in your main deck, like more level 4s, as you see here in the pretty much like a side deck. Petite Moth, since again, thanks to your Gokipole, you also have the option to pop one of your opponent's monsters if the attack of the special summoned normal monster is like higher, right? Or at least, yeah, lower, but you know, the monster having that particular deck on your opponent's side of the field. The new boss monster is only at 1 in the deck, same for Doomdozer, 2 special summonable monsters, and quite the boss monsters that can be searchable or are searchable off of Resonance. Insect, again, superb card here, especially with the Insector Pico Farena. So Shadow Fusion, Shadow Engine in the main deck, sending like pretty much like a foolish burial for the deck, right? Giving you more options, sending Bulb from your deck to your graveyard or whatever. Okay, so let's see a couple of example tools. Okay, first example. So again, I get to start. This is a super slow start. I think you'd rather want to go second, especially with, you know, the multiple Shadow Fusions in your main deck. You want to capitalize on the fact that your opponent potentially has like a special summoned extra deck monster. So the setting for your old school move of setting a monster, setting a spell or trap, Metaverse is superb to instantly search out your field spell. Again, it's pretty much your field spell is the MVP. If the opponent, you know, does opt to attack into your empty field or into your monster when you have the field spell on the field, you can send a normal from your deck to the graveyard, and then if you have the option, special summon that particular normal and 2 other copies, or up to 2 other copies of the same name to your side of the field. So again, quite good, giving you more insect monsters on the field. So pretty much swarming the field and opening up the Summon Sorceress play-up she's in the deck. You definitely want her here, giving you more options, searching like Resonance Insect from your deck, for example, get it on the field. Potentially opening up Link Summons, Synchro Summons, but yeah, mostly Link Summons, going for something like Burl Sword, Boreload, and you know, the new Black Iron Sea, the new boss monster. Upon at least you can special summon it by targeting like 3 insects in your graveyard with the same name, something like a Gokipole or your Sea Ranger, for example, and then you know you can special summon your Iron Sea, your new boss monster, your sea monster to the field, equip them, and then you know detach, destroy your opponent's monsters, equal, at least depending on the attack, right? Equal or higher, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, the opponent gets to start. Pendulum Magicians, again, superb here in the TCG, although heavily hit. Well, anyway, so that's again that start is so good, right? But then again, it's just a passing with Boreload Dragon, and well, Dweller is fine, I guess, preventing the grave effect from activating, so no retaliating Sea here. But again, still had at least 1 copy of my normal monster in my deck, so I can send it here to the graveyard and then special summon the other 2 copies. Pico Farena, the Insector Link monster, is key, definitely key here for the deck. By, you know, discard 1 card and then target another insect monster, equip something from your deck, preferably something like, you know, your Resonance insect or something like that, and then use its Pot of Avarice effect, again, super crucial, refueling your normals or the 2nd copy of your Insector Link monster that you might have summoned earlier, right? So Okay, Tornado Dragon and the boss mod. Sadly, the boss monster can't activate during your opponent's turn. That would have been fantastic. Again, like, well, not detach, but send one of its equipped insects to the graveyard, and then your opponent's monsters with, I believe, 2000 or higher attack will be destroyed. So again, good to interrupt any of your opponent's plays. Here I probably should have sent the Gokipole from my deck to the graveyard, but it doesn't really matter that much. Again, the opponent having the Vortex Dragon and the top deck Shadow Fusion is not going to cut it here, right? I'm not really sure. Yeah, again, the field spell preventing one attack from doing damage, and then at somewhat of a cost, well, not really a cost, but you know, the effect of sending an insect from your deck to the grave, potentially triggering your Gokipole to search something from your deck, right? Top decking another Shadow Fusion, but nope, that Vortex Dragon just seals the deal. So Pendulums is still a bit too strong. So with the new insect support, and you know, from testing a couple of like 2 days, it's definitely good. Of course, your field spell is MVP, and you're heavily relying on your field spell of gaining that advantage. Yeah, it's definitely a key factor. So cards like Metaverse to keep that field spell intact is definitely needed. Shadow Fusion, etc, etc. So yeah, you know the regular stuff, right? Discard, that's a basic play. Again, having the 3 normal insects, go for Pico of Arena indeed, discard, and then equip the Resonance Insect to your insect monster. No reason to potentially go for a Link Summon or something like that, just leave your insects on the field. I didn't see the option to, you know, establish a bigger board or end with something like Boreload Dragon. You know, your opponent can just Boreload your back, right? So I didn't see that, at least that probably would have not been a good play. I believe he does have the option to go for 2 copies of the full armored, you know, the Clifford Towers, Blackwing Towers 2.0. And here, thanks to the field spell, I'm going to survive, and he does attack into it, you know, potentially dealing the final damage, but I still have a normal, yeah, making sure that thanks to your Peak of Arena, your Insector Link monster, you can at least have 1 normal in your deck if you activate a field spell. Again, you can just Foolish Burial that normal monster away and then special summon the 3 copies of that normal to your side of the field. So again, potentially opening up those Link plays, right? Sadly not the Boral Sword, Boreload Dragon Brothers, since again those need effect monsters, right? So dropping all the boss monsters here. Here I forgot that Pico of Arena was only once per turn, or I forgot that I already used her effect. Otherwise here, as you're seeing here, 3 empty spots already would have, you know, used the Pot of Avarice effect of Pico of Arena, and then, well, thanks to the field spell, special summon those copies to the field. But wasn't needed since Boral Sword is a little bit ridiculous again. So again, the opponent gets to start. That's a decent start. Again, only setting 2. That's not that great. Again, using the field spell, attacking into his empty field. I decide to, you know, 0 battle damage, do 0 battle damage to special summon the 2 other copies of the normal monster, and you know, just keep upgrading again my Link stuff, going for Summon Sorceress, sacrificing the 2 insect monsters in my graveyard, preferably keeping the normals in my graveyard, since again I'm only running 3 normals, but you might, again, if you want to maximize the value of your field spell, you might want to run more normals, but then again, you're just making your deck more inconsistent, so I'm not a huge fan of that. The Kalut definitely helped out. Battle damage will be put to 0 thanks to the field spell, sending the Gokipole from my deck to the graveyard and searching the level 4 insect monster that can, like, it's like pretty much a Gigantus, right? You know Gigantus for like earth decks. Just basically triggering your resonance insector's banishing effect of, you know, sending something from your deck to the graveyard. But the cool part here is both of your boss monsters, Doomdozer and the new sea monster, are searchable, so again, definitely some solid support. This is more than enough, again, to attack for a game. So the deck definitely has floating capabilities, swarming capabilities. It's an insect deck, but again, still, it's definitely very, very solid. Last example, again, I get to start. This isn't really the best opening turn, right? Not really too fantastic. Then again, using the Peak of Arena to get some extra draws, drawing the Metaverse, that's okay, I guess, with only 1 copy of the field spell left in the deck, but still having the resonance on my side of the field to potentially like search one of those boss monsters and later in the duel use its grave effect, right, when it's like banished for something like Doomdozer or whatever. So search the Iron Sea. Not really sure if I have the 3 copies of 3 insectors with the same, or at least 3 insects with the same name in my graveyard, so one of those battles here, battle damage will be put to 0, preferably indeed the strongest, the again X attacks into the field, so 0 battle damage and special summoning 3 normals from my deck, right. Again, potentially forcing out the Beatrice or the Fogblade here in the back row, that's all good. Gokipole will still trigger, special summoning the Gigantus-alike monster, and I think I need my field spells effect, so I'm definitely going to send at least 1 normal from my graveyard indeed back to the deck, so I can use the field spell and special summoning the 3 normals again back to the field, and hopefully, well, here in this case it didn't really seem too optimal to make something like Borreload Dragon with Destrudo, you know, Needle Fiber, etc. I think it was just better to leave all my monsters here on the field, right? Instead of, you know, making Boral Sword or Borreload and then, you know, your opponent making his own Borreload Dragon as he's doing now. So, okay, that's a bit unfortunate, the Tornado Dragon hitting the field spell. I think I still have only 1 copy in my hands. I believe 2 copies are already destroyed. Yep, the Terraforming indeed is dead. So finally, the triple Destrudo. I like Destrudo. Again, you have at least the deck definitely has options to discard the card from your hand, and Destrudo can definitely come in handy. Same for Bulb. I might put, you know, what is called Trishula, the Synchro Trishula, in the extra deck. Again, Bulb and 2 normal level 4s equal Trishula, so that can definitely help out, right? Dealing some damage, and yeah, indeed, the opponent's going to survive with 1500, and again, him having no spell or trap gives him the option to, I think he's, well, this is going to be a grind game again. I think he's going for the, what is it called, F0, but again, Borreload Dragon, or Boral Sword Dragon indeed, having the option to put 1 monster on the field to defense position can somewhat stall this out, right? He finally, at least hopefully, forcing a breakthrough with the Shuttle Fusion, but nope, Edge Blossom is still a card. But again, I'm able to hold him off pretty much, you know, with the Boral Sword Dragon. The Allure of Darkness is not really going to save him that much. Again, hints and repeats as you are seeing here. So nothing, yeah, not really sure about Retaliating Sea. Retaliating Sea is of course very nice against something like Brandish or Sky Strikers, right? Special summoning monsters off of spell effect. So, but against other decks it might not be that fantastic, but still its main purpose here is of course that it's searchable or equipable from your deck with something like your Insector Link monster, and then after that, you know, get the search and so on. So pretty much being like a floater. Him not really having an option again for the Boral Sword Dragon, and finally draw another extra monster to, you know, go for the Borreload Dragon and to hopefully get something going here. But again, no, I think, what is it called? I'm in the rank 3 exceeded, the Nightmare Shark. That's the name. So Nightmare Shark range. I'm not really sure. I don't think he has the option for Nightmare Shark. So again, Dante being in defense position, and here this should be game, I think. Normal summoning the Ash Blossom being like a very nice target to be put in defense position for Boral Sword Dragon. So a very grindish game. But for the list, like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Not a yeah, definitely not a finalized list, but again, the Shuttle Fusion, I like them. Field spell is super crucial for the deck. I don't really like running more normals. Exodius might be an option. The Ends card here, the spell card next to Monster Reborn, might also be an option. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.